Hey Emrah, welcome
Hi,
to the Tempting Ventures hot seat. Just want to chat today a little bit about board packs and why they're useful for accountability. You're how many months into R&O Energy now?
So I think we're about 9 months, although maybe a little bit longer, actually probably 10.
Yeah.
But the first few months was very much sorting out the infrastructure. So I would say, realistically, we're probably sort of January is when we really kicked on, should I say?
Yeah, and this is your second business, is that right?
Yeah, so I've actually been involved in a couple of other startups previously, once as an employee, and the other time as a sort of a significant shareholder. But yeah, I've seen the success and potential pitfalls of startups, shall we say.
Okay, and great. So today, just wanted to understand a bit more. Obviously, Tempting Ventures uses board packs, and every month you sit down with the board to go through your board pack. What's been your experience of that so far with R&O Energy?
I think it's quite interesting, having looked at your article a little bit, the whole accountability element is really, I think, the most integral part of the board pack. In previous businesses, yes, we've had other types of reporting mechanisms, and not to say they were right or wrong, but I've definitely felt the board pack just makes you feel, it gives you a macro and a micro view of where your business is. So the micro view is very much of what are you doing this month, what's happened now, and the macro view is very much month on month, what are we trying to achieve. So if we're looking at a hiring strategy and we're looking at certain triggers and we want to hit those triggers in 3 months' time, well, the board pack's going to give us a snapshot of, have we done that? Have we achieved what we discussed 3-4 months ago? And I think sometimes it's very easy to have discussions with your other board members, and you can formalize it in a meeting, minutes of the board meeting, but actually having a document which you've actually taken time to create an agenda and do all of that jazz, it definitely makes it more accountable. The accountability element is definitely greater.
Sure. And what does typical board pack contain for your business?
So first of all, it's fundamentally it's what does the CEO, myself, what's my agenda, what do I want to achieve from that. So typically there'll be a few points that I will want to go through. That's not the basic of what have we done the previous month. So whether I want to talk about hiring strategies like I mentioned a second ago, or whether I want to talk about potential incentives for the staff, or promotional criteria if we want to change that, or potentially a new market that we're looking into. I mean, obviously we're not at that stage yet, but those are the kind of agendas that we'd be putting into the board pack. You then go over the previous month's actions. So at the end of the board meeting, typically what will happen is you'll establish, myself as the CEO, I will have certain things that I need to do, and then the other board members may have things that they need to do. So it could be, as an example, we're looking for a new funding facility, and actually the board members might have better contacts, so that would be something that they take on board, or vice versa. It could be, we're looking to get a credit control feature in, and because I've been involved in contract heavy businesses, I might know a credit control company, and that could be falling onto me. So again, that accountability element of the previous board meeting was, this is what we agreed that we would do, and that is the first thing that we go through in the subsequent board meeting is, have we done what we all agreed to do? Then after that, it's very much a snapshot of the business. So like I said, the micro view, what have we done in terms of GP generated, in terms of the cost base of the business, do we have, has a new hire started, how has that impacted the bottom line? You then have a bit of a sort of commentary, should I say, on where we are against where we thought we'd be. So the year starting budget, are we on budget, are we not on budget, why are we on budget, why are we above, why are we below? If we're below, what can we do to get above? We then talk about sort of client strategy, So what have we done that month on clients? What wins have we had? What losses have we had? Similarly with candidates, how's our candidate generation piece been? How's the control of those candidates been? Obviously you have worked with the US market as well, so there's certain learns that we've had along the time of potentially adding in new processes to be able to control someone that fundamentally we never see outside of video call. So that's that. Then you go on to the next element, of which is the team performance. So it breaks down each individual. What are their CV send outs, what are their interviews, and what are they actually generating? What money are they made? And then you have what actually I think is one of the most important elements, is what your hiring pipeline looks like. What I learned when I came to Tempting Ventures is that you always want to have a bench of people that you want to hire, because when you want to hire, you can never find someone. So you really always continuously, as a business that, as you said, you've got two choices. You're either a lifestyle business or a business that you're going to want to grow into a big, ideally a big beast. You need to make sure that you are constantly interviewing. You've constantly got people in the pipeline. So that's actually something we spend a lot of time on in the board pack, in the board meeting, should I say. What are we doing in order to generate that? Obviously Tempting Talent have been fantastic. They've helped us hire everyone so far, but also we should be looking at people that we personally know, or any other recommendations that we can get. So that's ideally we want to have 3 or 4 candidates there. And then the final piece is really, what are today's actions? What have we discussed? Everything that's been in my agenda, everything that's been, obviously brought up by the other board members. I'm in a very unique position where we share an office with our sort of investors, which is quite rare. Obviously the massive positive of that is that they are super hands-on. I think some people could potentially find that daunting, and I think if it was a different investor, it probably would. But actually with Tempting Ventures, it works really well. We do discuss a lot of things day to day, but the board pack is where we formalise everything that we're discussing, and it really means that we can look back in 6 months' time over our whole board packs and go, yeah, we've achieved all of the things that we said we'd achieve. And if we didn't have that, we'd probably say, yeah, we have, but we could miss 2 or 3 things. Sure. Because the nature of people is always to potentially, I'm ever an optimist, so I would always assume, oh yeah, I've done 7 out of 10, that's great. But when it's formalised, if you haven't done the other 3, it's very clear that you haven't done the other 3.
Great. So thanks so much for your detailed insight. I guess one last question, which is, whether someone's looking to start a lifestyle business or start a high growth recruitment business, what key kind of takeaway, having been using board packs for the last 9 or so months, would you give to them, and what advice would you share to people looking to start their own recruitment business?
I think make sure that you have the right support mechanism around you. That's really, really important. I think for me, I don't want a lifestyle business. That's not what I want it to be, and it's not an arrogance thing. I want a business that eventually, through all the board packs, through all the hard work, through everything that you've done, eventually kind of takes care of itself, and you can really take care of the top end stuff, which is far more fun, shall we say. So the advice I'd give to anyone is make sure that you are as structured as you possibly can, because the devil really is in the detail. You need to be meticulous, and that's something that I've learned off both Ryan and Melissa. It's that if you are at all flaky of any information that you're taking on or anything that you're doing, then your business will not grow at the rate it needs to. You can still grow a decent business without being fully structured, but if you want a really good business, you have to be meticulous in the detail from day one. And I think that's what the board packs do. They really focus your mind in that this is what I want to achieve, and if you don't achieve it, you then have to answer to the board of why you haven't in the following meeting. So that's for me, having the board, it's not like having someone that you're worried that you're going to get told off by, because that's not the relationship that you should ever have with your investors. But it's having someone that you feel that you have to not answer to either, but justify why your business hasn't done what you've agreed to do. And then they will sort of come back to you and be like, well, this is the reason why we're not going to grow at this rate, or we're not going to be able to hire another 5 people, we're just going to stagnate this, or there's various different eventualities. But the advice I would give is genuinely make sure that you have the right people behind you, because however much of a superstar biller you are, it's a completely different ball game when you're trying to actually grow a business. Lifestyle's fine. You can go and get one resourcer next to you. You're a superstar. You'll go out. You'll win business. That guy will fill your roles. Great. You'll make 2, 3, 400,000, whatever you make. But you'll never be able to sell that business. You'll never actually be able to get the full upsize, and you'll have to do that forever. So if you're happy with that, great, do lifestyle, but still make sure that you have someone to support you behind you in whatever capacity. I know Tempting Ventures, they not only invest in businesses, but they actually mentor a lot of business owners as well of various different sizes. So, I would strongly recommend Ryan and Melissa. If I didn't know them and I was to start again with the experience I've had, I would definitely go for them again. And I think some people wouldn't necessarily do that with the investors that they're stuck with now.
Sure. Great. Well, look, thanks so much for your time today, Emrah, and best of luck with everything. I know you're doing a great job so far, and we'll catch up soon.
Thank you very much. Take
Cheers.
care.